Welcome to KocoSports. I am the huge one kid, the idiot Dave Koco from Wrestle AM, a podcast on YouTube, KocoSports, and also on Twitch. I got this question via a few people on the Twitter machine, at KocoSports on the Twitter machine. This is Stump the Idiot. Feel free to ask. And the question is, can WWE sell out the Tokyo Dome? The Tokyo Dome is the mecca of pro wrestling and baseball and sports in general, and the crazy part is it's about to move. They're going to wreck it and move it, so it's going to be interesting to see what's all going to happen to the Tokyo Dome in the future. But that's another video for another time. Tokyo Dome has not been sold out, and granted, there's different records. They've been sold out for concerts, they've been sold out for baseball games, but they have not been sold out for pro wrestling in a while. They've got like 20,000, 30,000, but that's not selling out the Tokyo Dome. I think the last company to sell it out, and I could be wrong because some of the stuff I did a little tiny bit of research, and some people say it's this and some people don't say it is, but I don't think they've sold out the Tokyo Dome since Pro Wrestling No One. That wasn't even Muda's retirement. So it's an interesting situation selling out the Tokyo Dome. It has been done. WWE, on the other hand, has had problems in the past in Japan. There is a certain style of wrestling that WWE has, sports entertainment. There's a certain style of wrestling that New Japan likes. And WWE would come to Japan and the crowds would be absolutely horrible. But they're a clever company, you know. So they made a WWE Japan branch, hired a bunch of people and said, hey, how do we go about improving? And they have improved. They have never reached a crowd that could sell the Tokyo Dome. But they have improved a lot, and they're a lot more clever, and they hired some knowledgeable people. So their chances of selling out a Tokyo Dome is way greater than it was in the past. Because in the past, they would just bring over a WWE house show or try to recreate Raw or SmackDown, and the fans just weren't having it. Well, the mass numbers that WWE is looking for wasn't having it. And they changed it around. They're like, okay, what do they like? And that's what they went with. So I know it's yes or no. So I think the way the product is now, they can't sell out the Tokyo Dome. You can't put out a Raw, a SmackDown, or a pay-per-view that was just in Australia and expect that big of a crowd. It's just not going to be there because Japan has a lot of competition in pro wrestling, and Japan fans probably have some of the highest standards when it comes to in-ring ability. So it'll be a different situation. But they are a clever company. They learn what the Japanese people want, and they can change. So I'm going to say right now they can't sell out the Tokyo Dome. But I'm going to change the subject a little bit and pretend I am a WWE employee living in Japan because they call me Tokyo Dome Dave. I've been to I love the Tokyo Dome. I've been there a million freaking times. I'll go a million more. I absolutely love it. I'm sad that it's moving, and I'm sad it's going to be rebuilt. It is my favorite place on planet Earth. So I have a love relationship. So now I feel like, for an English speaker, I'm pretty goddamn good at fucking doing the Tokyo Dome, okay? Like, hey, bring it on, bring it on. And there's stuff that you can do to sell out. First off, you can't have 55-minute promos, and you can't have that many promos. They're going to want their promos at the end of the show and not in the middle. And you also have to have a lot of 1v1 matches. This is something that New Japan has lost track of. This is something that Pro Wrestling Noah and all Japan is getting better at. A lot of fans want 1v1 matches. I was going to start a company in Japan, and I did a lot of research, and, you know, 5-on-5 ghetto style, and like Japan loves it. They actually fucking despise it. Like, the number one selling point for a new company is they want 1v1 matches. So I'd get a lot of 1v1 matches unless they're already established tag teams. I wouldn't fuck around with 4-on-4. And then I would also work with other people. New Japan's hard because they're becoming like Vince McMahon. Maybe they would work with you, maybe not. But you can get all Japan Pro Wrestling Noah, and you could probably pack the place. And if you really want to, and you obviously, thinking as a WWE employee right now, you want to take over Japan, right? Just the way you took over England. Jesus Christ, England didn't even put up a fight. WWE's like, I'm coming. Like, we give up. Japan isn't going to give up like that. So you'd have to come and work with All Japan. You'd have to come work with Pro Wrestling Noah, possibly New Japan, but I don't know. That's up to you. They're a very greedy company. I wouldn't suggest working with them. And all you do is get great in-ring wrestlers that won't hurt your product by losing. You have some Nakajima beat someone like The Miz or Kofi Kingston or AJ Styles or Finn Balor. You're going to win over so many fans. And then if you have right now, Nakajima is very popular right now, and you come up and you're like, you have someone that can cut a promo and be like, oh, I'm coming for the titles. And then you build that 1v1 matchup. Anyone that has wrestled here before will be great. Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Nakamura, of course, Asuka, Sky. Any of the Japanese wrestlers have to be on the card. They are like the pay-per-view just happened in Australia, and they had Australians not on the card. Japanese fans would not buy tickets. They're like, oh, you have a Japanese person on your roster, and you're doing a show in the Tokyo Dome, and they're not on the show? Fuck off. Tokyo Dome, Japanese fans, they speak by the tickets they buy. All right, so it's like, oh, I support this company. I buy your tickets. Oh, I don't like this company. I leave. You also have to find out the mindset. Now, maybe I'll do a different thing how Japanese fans think compared to American fans. Australia, England, Canada, America, and most countries, the fans say, oh, cool, you want to go to wrestling? And their first question is always, what company? Japan doesn't play those fucking games. They will literally say who's on the card. Let's see, 3-5, I'm going to Dragon Gate. If I invite my friend, they're not going to say what company. They're going to say who's on the card. What's the matchup? 3-6, I'm going to DDT. If I invite a friend, especially a Japanese friend, they're not going to say what's the company. They're going to say who's on the card. And the same thing with Noah and All Japan. You get the idea. So you got to make sure that this card is stacked. It's sad that Brock Lesnar got in trouble, but anyone that has a martial arts background, a UFC background, MMA backgrounds can do really well. Anyone that's wrestled in New Japan can do very well. And you have to have your main champion on the card. Even if your main champion wins instantly, you have to have him on the card. So, if we're coming up on WrestleMania season as I'm recording this, I don't know if maybe this will be seen later in the algorithm, but right now we have Cody versus Roman Reigns 2. If Cody wins, and Cody has wrestled in the Tokyo Dome, had a great match against Juice Robinson, if he is your champ, he has to defend that title 1v1. That will help you sell tickets. If Roman Reigns, acknowledge him, wins, he has to defend the title 1v1. So it's stuff like that. You get a bunch of 1v1s, you put in-ring talent, you put the promos at the end of the show. I think you can sell out the Tokyo Dome because your roster is absolutely fantastic. WWE has worked with All Japan and Noah in the past, and that's it. Just have a really good wrestler that is willing to put over an All Japan guy. And obviously you don't want to put him champ versus champ. No one's that stupid. If you know, you fucking know. Noah. So no one's that fucking dumb to put champ versus champ, but have someone that can put a great match on. A Sheamus, a Drew McIntyre, and just have them go out and have a great friggin' match. You do that, you'll probably have a great card, and that will get the Japanese fans interested. Now, that might not be enough to sell the Tokyo Dome. What you have to do is you have to send your athletes a week or 2 weeks early, depending on availability. Obviously, these won't be your big athletes. I'm thinking someone that could travel, has a great personality, and really won't affect your shows that much. R-Truth, Nakamura, Asuka, someone like that. If they miss 2 weeks of Raw or SmackDown, no one's going to notice, or at least majority of fans don't notice. and then have them come over and then be on talk shows and game shows. If you can get your athletes on game shows, people will fall in love with them and pack the place. So I would do 2 weeks of prep of a handful of people. It could even be like retired people, just people that have reputation, have a good personality, can have fun, and do some of those Japanese wacky games, get on the talk shows and all that. Also, the good thing is when you work with the Tokyo Dome, you can get a lot of sponsorships, and the sponsorships can help you. You know, like Hello Kitty, Pokemon, certain chocolates, certain that. And you just come by and say, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Sign up for all the sponsorships. You'll get paid, and those sponsors will put you over. So this is something that you can do and to pack the place. Tokyo Dome is very big, and it is hard to sell out the Tokyo Dome. It's just it's a big place, and outside of Tokyo, people that don't live in Japan will tell you, if you live in Tokyo, Yokohama, or Osaka, or one of the few major cities, that's pretty much it. Outside those cities, it is country as far as the eye can see. So you have to make sure that you're everywhere in Tokyo to pack that place. And yeah, I think if they do that, they can do it. Will WWE be willing to do that? I have no idea. But, and not only that, but Tokyo Dome is about to close down and move. It would be a Vince McMahon type idea to be the last show to ever run the Tokyo Dome, or be the first show to run in the new Tokyo Dome. Then that would help you get packed. But there's probably going to be so many people thinking of that idea. There's probably going to be like 1,000 different concerts and baseball games and all that. So I personally love the Tokyo Dome with all my heart. WWE selling it out, they would have to change their style, but they've done that before. And an example, if I could take a match that would get over in Japan, Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. I believe it was a WrestleMania match. You put on matches like that, people are going to fucking go bonkers in the Tokyo Dome for you guys. But if you do matches where you're like staring at each other a little too long and cutting promos and not putting in the moves tight, especially if it's not stiff, they'll automatically say it's American style. And I know it might be a tad bit on the racist side, but when a Japanese fan says that's American style, that means kind of like it's shit. It's like, oh, what are you doing there? Cutting promos? American style. Oh, what are you doing there? Don't know how to do an armbar? American style. What are you doing there? Lightly tapping your chest? American style. And it pisses off Americans, which I understand. But I don't want to fucking lie to you. I don't want to say like most of my Japanese friends, when they say a shit match that's entertaining, they're like, oh yeah, that's American style. And is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. Sometimes I say it and I got to watch myself because someone in the comments like, you said it was American style. What does that mean? It's like, oh, it means fucking wasn't that good. So there, you got a lot. But yeah, so that's how you sell at the Tokyo Dome. It wouldn't be easy, but if anyone would do it, it'd probably WWE. I mean, not to compare, the question was for WWE, but for TNA, I don't know if they could ever sell the Tokyo Dome. They did sell out Cork and Hall a few years back, working with, I believe they were working with All Japan. And as far as AEW, they would have to really, really buckle down on Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho are gods here. Like, I've never met a Japanese fan that when they say, oh, AEW, Kenny's company, they don't mention the Young Bucks. They don't mention Tony Khan. They don't mention it. They're like, oh, yeah, that's Kenny's company. And Chris Jericho's a god here. I'm trying to think on the WWE roster, probably Brock, Nakamura, but Brock's gone as of the recording of this. Who knows? Stuff could change. So there you go. Limited time only to sell out this Tokyo Dome, but just like Yankee Stadium, they're going to build another one, and you can try to sell it out. All right, I hope that was answered your questions. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell all your friends. I'm going to try my best to make more videos. With that, I am over. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Call me Tokyo Dome Dave.